Hello students, from this lecture we are going to study chapter 20 locomotion and movement. In this chapter main topics are types of movement, muscle, skeletal system, joints and disorders of muscular and skeletal system in human. First of all, let's discuss about what is exactly locomotion and movement observed in living organisms. As you know, movement is one of the significant feature of living beings because for so many activities in their life, in daily routine, movement as well as locomotion is required. Animals and plants, they exhibit a wide range of movements. Some examples we can discuss here. Streaming of protoplasts in the unicellular organism like amoeba is a simple form of movement. Further, movement of cilia, flagella and tentacles. This type of movement is shown by many organisms. For human being, we can move limbs, jaws, eyelids, tongue and some other body parts also. Some of the movements result in a change of place or location. This voluntary movement is called locomotion. This point is important here. There is main difference between movement and locomotion. Movement which result in a change of place or location, that is considered as a locomotion. Some examples of this locomotory movement: walking, running, climbing, flying, swimming. They are all some forms of locomotory movements. For this purpose, locomotory structures required. So, these are affecting other type of movements. Some movements, for examples, in paramecium, cilia helps in the movement of food through cytopharynx and in locomotion also. Hydra is another organism. It can use its tentacles for capturing of its prey and also use them for locomotion purpose. If we talk about our body, ourselves, as we know, we use limbs for change in body posture and locomotion also. This all observations suggest that movements and locomotion cannot be studied separately. To make this link, locomotion and movement, both are linked, this type of locomotion and movement, but movement is not locomotion. This point is to be remembered, that movement is not locomotion because then place is not changed. Methods of locomotion performed by animals vary with their habitats, demand of situation and some other factor. Locomotion is generally for search of food, shelter, mate, suitable breeding, favorable climate condition, or it may be escape from enemies or predators. So, after all, for all living organism, there is importance of movement and locomotion. Now let's discuss about types of movement. Cells of the human body exhibit three main types of movement. These main types are amoeboid, ciliary and muscular. These are main types of movement observed in human body. For this purpose, cells of human body, the tissue, skeletal system, say, responsible for such a type of movement. And there is difference in between these three types of movement. Some specialized cell in our body like macrophages and leukocytes in blood, they exhibit first type of movement, that is amoeboid movement. This movement is affected by pseudopodia formed by the streaming of protoplasts. As you remember, in amoeba, this type of organism, pseudopodia are formed for various function, and through this it is actually streaming of protoplasts, false pseudopodia. They are formed for various purpose like food gathering and some other. So such a type of movement also shown by specialized cell in our body. They are like macrophages and leukocytes. Cytoskeletal elements like microfilaments are also involved in amoeboid type of movement. So, in this type of movement, like amoeba, pseudopodia structure is formed. Second type, that is ciliary movement. Now you have idea about cilia, ciliary structure, which is observed in paramecium organism. Ciliary movement occurs in most of our internal tubular organs, which are lined by ciliated epithelium, and that's why this movement is known as ciliary movement. Coordinated movements of cilia in the trachea help in the removing dust particle and some of the foreign substances inhaled along with the atmospheric air. One more example for human body we can take as a ciliary movement, and that is passage of ova through the female reproductive tract is also facilitated by the ciliary movement. So, in human body, like cilia, ciliary movement is observed for various purpose. Generally, this movement of cilia is useful in trachea. It's helpful for removing dust particle, some other substances which are harmful for our body, as well as passage of ova through the female reproductive tract is also facilitated by ciliary kind of movement. Third kind of movement, that is muscular movement. Movement of our limbs, jaws, tongue and some other part. They show this type of movement. Contractile property of muscle are effectively used for locomotion and other movements by human being and majority of multicellular organisms. Locomotion requires a perfect coordinated activity of muscular, skeletal and neural system. So, this way, if we talk about types of movement, mainly cells of the human body, they exhibit three main types of movement. These are amoeboid, ciliary and muscular kind of movement. In amoeboid type movement, pseudopodia are formed. Okay. Next, ciliary type of movement, it is like cilia, movement like cilia. And for muscular movement, these muscles are useful for same. Now, if you talk about muscle, which are useful for this type of muscular movement, so we have idea about cilia and flagella. They are outgrowth of the cell membrane. Some movements are related with this. Flagellar movement help in the swimming of spermatozoa, maintenance of water current and in the canal system of sponges and locomotion of protozoa like Euglena. Muscle is a specialized tissue of mesoderm origin. About 40 to 50% of the body weight of human adult contributed by muscle. This point is important here. About 40 to 50% of the body weight of human adult is made up of muscles. They have special property like excitability, contractility, extensibility and elasticity. So, simply we can understand muscle contraction and relaxation is responsible for particular type of movement. Muscles, they have been classified using different criteria, so namely locomotion, its location, appearance and nature of regulation of their activity. So, on the basis of this, on the basis of their location, muscles, they are of mainly three types: skeletal muscle, visceral muscle and cardiac muscle. As the name suggests, we can also understand skeletal muscle is a important component of our body as a part of skeletal system. Visceral muscles, they are present in inner wall of visceral organs in our body, and cardiac muscle, as the name suggests, actually they are present in human heart. Let's discuss one by one these three types of muscle. Skeletal muscle, they are closely associated with the skeletal components of human body. They have stripe or lining appearance under the microscope, and that's why they are also known as striated muscle. Their activities under the voluntary control of the nerve system, and they are also known as voluntary muscle. They are primarily involved in locomotory actions and changes of body posture. So, skeletal muscle is an important part of skeletal system, important component, also known as striated muscle and voluntary type of muscle. Second, visceral muscles. They are located in the inner walls of whole visceral organs of the body. Some examples: alimentary canal, reproductive tract, and some other part. They do not exhibit any striation and are smooth in appearance, and that's why they are also known as smooth muscle or non-striated muscle. So, according to their property, visceral muscles, they are also known as smooth muscle as well as non-striated muscle. Activities of visceral muscle, they are not under the voluntary control of the nerve system, and that's why they are also known as involuntary muscle, because it is not under the voluntary control of nerve system. That's why they assist, for example, the transportation of blood through the digestive tract. This example is important to study. In the transportation of food through the digestive tract and gametes through the genital tract. So, this kind of activity is carried out this way. Third type, that is cardiac muscle. As per name, we can understand they are muscles of heart. So, only in heart this type of muscles are present. Many cardiac cells, muscle cells assemble in a branching pattern to form a cardiac muscle. Based on their appearance, cardiac muscles are striated because strips, linings are observed. They are involuntary in nature as the nerve system does not control their activities directly. So, the cardiac muscle, they are specialized muscle actually present only in human heart, and that's why they are known as cardiac muscle. So, basically they are muscle of heart. So, these are three main type of muscles present in human body as a part of skeletal system also. They are skeletal muscle, visceral muscle and cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscles, they are associated with skeletal component of body. They are striated muscle, we can say, according to their property, their appearance, as well as they are also known as voluntary muscle. Second type, visceral muscles, they are present in inner wall of hollow visceral organ of the body of alimentary canal, reproductive tract and some other part. As per their appearance and property, they are known as smooth muscle and non-striated muscle also. Okay, they are located in various parts, useful for transportation of food through digestive tract and gametes through the genital tract. And third type, especially, they are cardiac muscle, also known as muscle of heart. Okay, they are having branching pattern. They form cardiac muscle. They are striated in nature and they are involuntary in nature as the nerve system does not control their activities directly. So, these all muscles, all type of muscles, they are important for movement and locomotion in human body.